Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Verbling. I am teacher Oakley. And once again, it is time for famous quotes. Okay, in this class, we're going to look at famous quotes from Niccolo Machiavelli. Yes, Machiavellian, an actual adjective in the English language. We have in the English language, thanks to this man, Niccolo Machiavelli. As we usually do in this class, I will share some quotes with you. The students will read them. We'll look at any idiomatic language. We'll look at the vocabulary, and then we'll discuss the meaning and the relevance. Is this really true? What do you think about these quotes? So a little debate, a little opinion, a little description. So join me and practice your English, and we'll get all Machiavellian up in you, baby. Wow. Hi, Julio.
Hello, teacher. How
are you? I'm good.
Doing fine, thank you. I have a question, teacher. At least in
Sure.
Spanish, we have a word that it's like Machiavellico, which
Really?
means that it's somehow evil.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have the same word in English or something similar.
We absolutely do. We have an adjective Machiavellian with a IAN suffix or ending, which usually denotes an adjective, which actually, exactly as you say, it means sinister, evil, insidious, plotting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, was that guy evil or shady, sinister, or something like that?
You know what? We're going to find out because we're going to read some of the famous things that he said, and you can decide. All right? I'm not going to answer that until maybe 55 minutes from now. I'll ask you that question. All right?
All right.
All right. Fair enough. Hello, Ishmael. How are you today? Hey.
Hey.
Hello, I am fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you again. Hello, Heidi. Welcome back.
Hello. Nice to see you again.
Likewise. Hello, Wala. Hi, Wala.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you again. It's been a while. Good to have you in class again.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I will move to a different state, that's why.
I'm sorry, again? Wala, again?
I will move to a different state, that's why.
Oh, you're okay. You're moving. Oh, all right. Well, good luck with that. Hello, Maria.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Maria, where are you from?
I'm from Russia.
You're from Russia?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you were from West Side Story. I was going to start singing a song to you. Maria.
No.
Okay, nobody wants that. I know. Absolutely not. Welcome to the class, Maria.
Thank you.
And last but not least, hello, Nader. Welcome.
Nice to see you again.
Likewise. Always my pleasure. Okay, let me do a little screen share for you. Let's get started with Niccolo Machiavelli. Oh, wait, before we start, hang on. Wait a second. Julio and I talked about it a little bit, but let me throw this out to the class. Do you guys know who Niccolo Machiavelli is? Nader, Ishmael, Heidi, do you guys know who this guy is?
The Prince book.
He is a philosopher.
Prince Ishmael? What's that?
I think He's a writer, but he writes some philosophic piece.
Okay, he writes
He's a
kind of
thinker.
philosophy. A
Politic
thinker. Maria has
and
got it.
politic also, I think.
Yes, probably most famous. Nader is also correct. He wrote a book called The Prince. Niccolo Machiavelli, you might consider him to be, just my opinion, okay, not my opinion. He's basically the father of
Democracy.
the father of political science, political ethics, if you will, or which is politics, ethics. Two words that do not belong together in the same sentence. Or even
Well, if that guy is responsible for the political ethics nowadays, then that guy was pure evil.
Sure he is.
Here we go, baby. Nice intro, Julio. Okay. All right. Well, on that note, let's see what the father of modern political ethics has to say. Julio, I'm going to let you start this one off. Can you read this for me?
It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both.
Yeah. Right on. Okay. You obviously find that amusing. Okay. Do you buy that? Do you believe it? I mean, there's not a lot of interpretation here. This is pretty straightforward as an idea, but what do you think of that statement?
Well, there's no way to argue it. I mean, it's true whatever in which way you want to see it.
Okay.
It's better to be fear and love at the same time, but if not, well, at least be feared. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I may argue there's many ways to look at it. Ismail, what do you think of this quote? Is this?
Okay. I couldn't understand the quote,
Okay.
actually.
Okay. Well, let's think about it. Machiavelli is saying that he would, at least in his opinion, it is better for people to fear you than love you. If you have a choice, if you cannot be both, okay, I suppose he expresses the idea that ideally you should be loved and feared. But if you can't be both, it is better to be feared. And how does he mean that? Maybe he means that from the perspective of politics, from the perspective of military. Machiavelli was also a military planner, leader, and strategist. Maybe he means that as a parent. I don't know. This is the part where you guys get to think about it. What do you think of this quote?
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean with the word fear?
Fear.
Fired or fear?
I know. Afraid.
Afraid.
Yes. Scared. Nervous. Shaking in your boots. Terrified.
Yeah.
Well, there is a thin line between love and hate. That's what they say.
That's what they say. That's a quote. Where does that quote come from? I wonder. Yeah.
Machiavelli said this quote about a politician, maybe. Okay.
Maybe.
Yes, there are some politicians people don't love, and maybe they should behave like a
Yes.
like a man. Everybody afraid of him, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Possibly he acts like a tyrant, for example. When you're talking about politics, a tyrant commands everyone and demands
A
respect.
despot.
And a despot, yeah, another good word, sure. Uh,
But it is not a good idea, I think, or play.
yeah,
I don't like how Machiavelli said it.
well,
For
again,
a politician, I don't want to be a despot politician.
yeah. But, okay, and I completely understand you. But to understand Niccolo, he was more concerned with keeping power.
Um,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, indeed. Oh, Heidi.
There's a choice here, maybe.
Well, yeah. Apparently, there is a choice,
Yes.
but
Yes.
Machiavelli has made his choice. Heidi, what do you think of this quote? Do you
If
think
you
this
if
applies?
if
Okay.
you feel fear to some person, how do you behave? Maybe you are polite, but if you love someone, you think he is kind or very gentle. So sometimes you are rude. For him, if he treated like rude or bad behavior, it's better than be treated polite way.
Wow, that's an interesting observation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
You know what?
he said if you cannot be both, right? So it means that he doesn't love such person or doesn't feel anything. So common people, so common
Yes.
people
Well,
want to be a little further.
clearly he's not worried about how people think about him.
Hmm.
That's not his concern,
Wh-
obviously.
When I when I read this quote, I cannot help to think about religion. I think they want to accomplish both. I mean, they want us to love God but fear Him at the same time, and we are so afraid of not loving God that we just love it.
Wow,
So,
that's
for example, Bruce Willis, he's a little scary person.
Bruce
So
Willis.
paparazzi doesn't take picture so much.
How do we go from God to Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis got angry always. Then the paparazzi fear about it.
well. Let's be honest, people. Bruce Willis is God. Okay, I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. I don't know why I say things like that. Voila. You have any thoughts about this? Oh, yes. She thinks she'll leave. Okay. Nader,
Yes.
does this quote apply to modern life?
Sure. This is a code that is valid for every time.
Okay. Okay. Uh, do you see this as a
What?
truth?
How do you say it? Valid for all seasons or valid for what?
Valid for all seasons. Yeah, idiomatically, yes, you could say that. Yeah,
That's
kind of strange for this circumstance, but understandable. Perfectly understandable, actually. Yeah, that's an idiomatic way to say that it's valid in all aspects. Sure. Okay. Okay.
especially
Maria.
for men.
Okay. Maria.
Yes.
Maria, you immediately knew who Machiavelli was and pinpointed the fact that he has a lot to do with politics. Why did you know that? Are you a politician?
No, I dislike politics.
You do? Oh my goodness. What are you
It's not
doing
for
here in my
women.
class?
Listening and thinking.
No, I am totally joking with you, Maria.
Okay.
I think most of my students are not really big fans of politicians.
Yeah, I don't understand what's the bad consequence of to be loved.
Okay, thank you for that. That's an excellent observation. Well, Heidi believed that if you're loved, some people may disrespect you because they think they can take advantage of you. For example, she brought up that point.
Yeah.
If I don't pay attention to them, or what?
Possibly. Okay. Again, this is open for discussion. You can have your own ideas. I don't know. Possibly that's right. To be honest, I think Machiavelli was more concerned with control. I don't really think he cared if people feared him, hated him, loved him, adored him. It was totally meaningless from his point of view. The idea was he needed to keep control of the population, control of the people, and stay in power. Oddly, yeah.
I think it's easier to make people fear you than love you. I mean,
Easier.
it requires less energy. Yeah, you just have a gun, people is gonna fear you immediately, and it's gonna take a lot of chocolate boxes and flowers for make people loving you. So,
Do you think modern politicians try for both? Machiavelli leaves that open. If you cannot be both, I mean, I'm sorry, but I think about Putin. I think about Obama. I think about different I think about world leaders. I think they're trying desperately to do both things. Well, Obama, who could fear Obama? It's like, I mean, being afraid of a 6-year-old child, you know? Seriously.
yeah, that's the problem with Obama. I mean,
Yeah.
you just don't respect him. He's just like a puppet.
Right? So maybe it's better to be more like Putin, who people fear. I wouldn't want to be in a dark alley with Putin, with Vova. No, thank you. Obama, I'm not so worried about. I'm afraid I'm going to have to take care of him, actually.
Yeah, he looks so fragile.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
He's a puppet, I think.
Well, yeah, he's afraid to even take his daughter out to teach her how to drive the car. I mean, what does that tell you? Yeah, jeez. You know, he should call Putin. Putin will take his daughter out for a horseback ride and not wear a shirt. You know?
Or pants.
Or pants. Stop it. Okay. Talk about being feared. Okay. Anyway. All right. But seriously, Machiavelli is a politician, and I think maybe there's some truth here. We just, we talked about it. Okay, let's move on.
People don't love law, but they fear law. So if you need control, you should follow his advice.
Ah, right. Good point, Nader. People don't love the law, but they fear the law or the repercussions. Good point. Okay, Ishmael, let's look at this next quote. Ishmael?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, when you disarm the people, you commence to offend them and show that you distrust them either through cowardice or lack of confidence. And both of these opinions generate hatred.
Aha. Okay.
What is a disarm?
Okay. I was hoping you would ask that. To disarm someone is to take their weapons away.
Okay.
All right. So, again, he's talking, most of his quotes are from a position of power, from the government, from the prince, for example. So when you disarm the people, you take their weapons away, you commence. Commence is a very fancy and formal word for begin. You begin to offend them and show that you distrust them, either through cowardice, meaning you take away their weapons because you're afraid, or you're not confident in them. And the idea, when you disarm the people, you generate hatred towards yourself and the government. Interesting idea, especially in terms of maybe looking at United States. Ishmael,
Yes, Oakley.
do you think that's true? If you forcibly take people's weapons away?
Oakley, why we are trying to generate hatred? I couldn't understand.
You're not.
What
Actually,
is
this is advice to not do something, otherwise you may generate hatred, which I believe he's opposed to. This is advice to avoid generating hatred.
for strengthening your position?
Yeah.
What is the purpose of generating hatred?
You
In
don't
a-
want to. That's exactly what he's saying. He's against it. He's saying in order to avoid generating hatred, this is advice to stop it. He's not looking at it as a good thing. He's looking at it as something to be avoided.
You know,
Okay.
thinking about that quote, I think about my country. We pretty much are disarmed. We have
Uh-huh.
always been this way, and we don't really care about it. But I started to think that it has a lot to do with culture, because at least Mexico was the conquered country. It has always been like this. The Spanish came here and they immediately disarmed us and raped our women and just own our land. And we kind of have that idea inside of us that we don't deserve to have arms. I mean, and that's the way it has always been. Just foreign people coming here, disarmed us, and
Okay.
take advantage of everything. So it's different than in other countries like United States or Europe, where they somehow they are the conquerors. They are the ones that are always with a gun or with a sword in their hands and bossing people around. So they really feel offended when somebody tries to take their arms away.
True. Okay. I think that, guys, that there's another way to think about this. When you disarm the people, yes, it could be literal, take away weapons. I think it also perhaps could be more figurative. For example, if the people have no way to fight back against the government, if they don't have freedom of speech, if they're not allowed to protest, if they're not allowed in any way, if they're not given any rights, your voice, your ability to fight back against the government, if you're not allowed to, generally that doesn't make people happy in the long run. I mean, that's just my opinion. Heidi, do you have any ideas here?
I'm not sure why he started to offend them, because they already disarmed, right?
This is advice, okay? When you see this structure, when you do this,
Me?
okay.
Okay.
You, yeah, you. If you're, for example,
Disarm other people, right? Then
yeah, okay.
I start to hate, and I show them distrust feeling, my feeling,
Right.
because
This
you are
is
cowardly and confident. You are lack of confidence. I say so. So I don't
right.
trust you like that.
Yeah, this is like Machiavelli saying, "Hello, Heidi. You are the queen of Japan. You are the supreme ruler of Japan. If you,
Japan people already disarmed.
yeah, but are they disarmed? Do they have free speech? Do they have any way to protest or fight against the government? Is it possible for for them to change the government at all? Can they? Or is it impossible, Heidi?
Mm-hmm.
Is it completely out of the people's hands?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's okay. I'm throwing way too much out here, but in my opinion, that's what he's saying. When you take away any and all recourse for the people to actually fight back against the government, be it physically with arms or in any kind of way, they start to freaking hate you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's my opinion. What he's saying here, that's my opinion, my interpretation. Maybe you guys disagree. I don't know. Voila. Any ideas?
Generally, I agree with him.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you. That was succinct. It was right to the point. Okay. Hi, Juan. Welcome to the class.
Okay.
Hey, I'll catch up with you in a second. All right. Nader, any last thoughts here? We'll move on. Anything?
I have one last thought.
Do you?
You are
Okay.
going,
Shoot.
if you are going to give arms to people, you just have to make sure they are pointing in the right direction.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we could take this extremely literally. When you chop people's arms off, they tend to hate you. I would buy that. Absolutely. Nader, any last thoughts, or shall we move on?
No, move on.
Move on. Okay.
This one I like it.
This one? Okay. Go ahead, Nader. Can you read it?
The more sand has escaped from the hourglass of our life, the clearer we should see see through it. This I believe in, because Muhammad Ali said once, the man who views the world at 50 the same as he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life.
I like that. That's good.
So when you grow older, you have to get new experience. You have to see the world in a different way. If you don't, there's something wrong with you. Sure.
Yeah. Okay, that was very good, and very well said. This is clearly very metaphorical, very idiomatic. Obviously, Nader clearly interpreted it for what it is. It means the more time goes by, the clearer you should see your life. Juan, how's the sand in your hourglass? Do you feel like you understand life? You see things clearer than you did when you were younger, 10 years ago, whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Heidi does.
Mm-hmm. People getting older, they can understand their life more than younger time.
Yeah. Okay. Juan?
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Sometimes there's still a lot of sand that hasn't escaped yet. But
that's good. Yeah.
But taking into consideration the one that has already escaped, what I now want the most is this remaining one to escape as fast as it can, so I can become wiser while still and enjoy the rest of the remaining years that I have with more mature way to see things.
You know, I understand this quote, but frankly, I don't think I see things clearer. I think, to put it in an English collocation, I have gained perspective. I see it through a new angle, and I appreciate things which I did not when I was younger.
I think.
Yeah, Julio. Go ahead.
I think that I saw things clearer when I was a child.
Really?
Now everything is blurry. Yeah, I was like, I had all sorts of expectation, and I thought that life was going to be so easy, and that I was going to be this and being able to accomplish that. And now that I'm older, I just a lot of things didn't happen the way it should have happened, and now I don't know what to do. But just complain.
Okay. I don't know if that's clear. Uh, just to share an idiom that Julio reminded me of. If you see life through rose-colored glasses, okay, you see life and your perspective makes everything look great and the future is wonderful, but maybe not realistic. uh, okay, Ishmael, what do you got here? You can be flexible. Yeah, good point. Are you more flexible now that you're older, Ishmael? Ishmael, are you there?
Yes, Oakley, I
Right.
think so. I interpret some issue wisely, more wisely than before.
Yeah.
I am more flexible than when
Okay.
I was young.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah, me too. Any last thoughts? Or let's move on. There's a lot of good material here. Any last thoughts on this? Anyone? Okay, let's move it. Move it. We're gonna move it. Move it. Heidi, can you read this next one?
Men should be either treated generously or destroyed because they take revenge for slight injury. For heavy ones, they cannot.
Well, there's some advice.
Mhm.
Machiavelli is full of advice. You got to give that to him. What do you think of that? Do you understand what he's saying?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. People revenge for slight injury, yes, but heavy injuries they cannot. I think so.
Yeah. Does that make sense to you? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Voila. Any thoughts here? Do you agree with this?
I think I'm not sure about his meaning, what he meant, but I think he mean there is no gray area. You should be treat people or treat these people respectfully or respect with respect, or just make them as enemies.
Yeah. Niccolo Machiavelli, their original extremist terrorists. Indeed. Uh, yeah. I kind of read it the same way. He doesn't leave a lot of area for middle
I mean,
ground.
I think
Yeah.
he means there is no love-hate relationship at the same time. You should be clear. And I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Really? You do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Nader, how about you? Do you live your life by black and white, or are there shades of gray?
No. Actually, we have a quote in Arabic proverb. It says, "The hand you can't bite, kiss it." So if you can't beat someone who is in a who has the power now, you have to you have to kiss his hand. So with this one, we can complete it. The hand you can't bite it, you can kiss it. But the hand you can't kiss it, cut it.
All right.
Ah,
Thank you, Nader,
that's
for sharing that. Actually, totally cool. That is pretty much exactly what Machiavelli is saying. I think those are very similar. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Nader. Totally.
That was great. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was great. Awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Maria, is this an axiom? An axiom, an idea, a guiding idea? Would this be an axiom that you would like to live your life by?
No, I don't agree. I don't agree
Okay.
with it. But for me, for my opinion, it's better to treat two people generously or just ignore them. In that way,
Oh,
you will
okay.
not take any revenge from others.
I don't know, but some people hate to be ignored. I'm thinking of women now. Sorry. Sorry.
So you kill them then?
Well, have you? Okay, Miriam, have you ever heard of this quote? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Have you ever heard of this? Has anybody ever heard of this?
No.
Okay, here it is.
No.
Th-
What
this
is a score?
Hell
How
hath
I
no
get it?
fury like a woman scorned. To scorn someone is basically to ignore them. No thank you.
When
Yeah.
a woman is angry, be careful.
Yeah. A woman who's scorned is a woman ignored. You completely pay no attention to her. You don't care. Okay. Anyway. So, just, Maria, your advice is to ignore them, and I think you can get away with that with men, but I don't know.
I think this is typically for his word as politician. I mean,
Yeah.
the saying could be applied in political world.
Yeah. Okay. Point taken. Good point, actually.
So if that right, I think the second war will start soon because a lot of countries can't treat to each other generously.
True enough. These days. Yeah, and that's Maria. Very good point. Machiavelli. Okay. Well, actually, Maria, since you went there, I'll let you read this next one here. I'm going to skip down to this one.
There is no avoiding war. It can only be postponed to the advantage of others.
Ooh, ouch.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of this?
Maybe it's right, but I hope no.
Maybe it's right, but I hope not. That is an extremely logical response. Yeah, thank
I
you
hate
for
war,
that.
and I don't want the war to be, and I don't know.
Yeah, no, I totally respect what you just said. Very, very logical. Julio, what do you think of this?
Well, I just think this guy was a control freak. He was really obsessed with controlling
think?
people, and most of his quotes are just offensive and disgusting, but somehow you cannot deny them. I mean, there is a truth in them, and
The man is brilliant.
Yeah.
yeah, it is brilliant. I mean, it's in the thin line between being crazy and a genius.
Yeah. Excellent observation. There's a grain of truth in everything he says. Is he a genius? Is he an evil genius? Did Machiavelli laugh like this? I have a feeling he did. I'm guessing here. I don't know. I don't think it's recorded in history. I'm not sure. I would love to see a movie about Machiavelli. Juan, who should play the part of Machiavelli if there was a movie? What actor should we choose? Johnny Depp, maybe? He's kind of warped.
Mm,
Don't
Oh,
spoil Johnny.
you know, Gary
That could be a.
Gary
Anthony,
Busey.
Gary,
Anthony Hopkins.
I thought you were going to say Gary Coleman.
Good one. Oh yeah, Anthony. Oh, Anthony Hopkins. Oh, that would be good. Yeah. No, Gary Busey's kind of a mental case. Oh, how about Arnold Schwarzenegger? There is no avoiding war. It can only be bestowed to the advantage of others. Can you imagine?
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
That was fun.
Yes,
No, that would be fun. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that might be fun. Okay. Back to the quote. Juan.
Mhm.
Okay, he's in a lack of touch when he's. Yeah. Okay. He's not very sensitive, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He may had trouble with the ladies.
Yeah, quite possibly.
I think he also has this feeling like there's no time for sentimentalism. Like that's a waste of time and energy. Just go straight to the point, cut to the chase.
I think possibly Machiavelli was the first European who was not breastfed.
I never got a date.
I'm just saying, you know.
I would love to hear some pickup lines from Machiavelli.
Yeah, this is, you know, if I could have dinner with 4 people, you know, Albert Einstein, Machiavelli, maybe, it would be very interesting to talk to this guy. And I would need somebody very funny, maybe Samuel Clemens. That would be a great dinner. A genius, a total wise ass, and an evil, twisted mutant. It would be great. my ultimate fantasy. Yeah. Actually, we should have a class like that. Who would you invite to dinner, and why? Actually, just for fun, real quick. Ismail, if you could invite someone for dinner, anyone at all, who would it be?
For what, please?
For conversation, or to hang out, or maybe you want to invite Michael Jackson because you want him to teach you to moon dance. I don't know. Anything.
I would invite Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
Yes.
Awesome.
I want to. I will talk with him about psychology. I have interest in.
Ah, okay. That might be cool. I like that. Heidi, who would you invite to dinner if you could invite anyone at all?
Putin.
From the live or dead?
Putin.
Who?
Putin.
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 Vladimir? Vova?
Vladimir.
Okay. What would you talk about?
Why he's such strong-minded?
Why? Yeah. Even he didn't even tell his wife that, you know. Why?
Why is he stronger than him?
Ooh, be careful. Be careful about saying things like that. Okay. Walla, if you could invite anyone to dinner, who would it be? Anyone at all, live or dead, someone from the past, male or female?
I think I forget his name actually, but he's a comedian, and I think Chaplin. He was famous
Charlie
for silent.
Chaplin.
Yeah, exactly. That
Yes.
person.
That would be a very boring dinner because he doesn't speak.
Why? I mean, no, because I think he has that body language. So people who are really good in body language, I think I don't know. I think it will be funny. Yeah.
Okay. That would be an interesting dinner if he didn't speak at all. He just used body language to communicate. Wow. Of course, while most of your dishes would be broken and your table would be destroyed and your house would be wrecked. But it might be funny.
They are confusing him with the three struggles, teacher.
Okay. Nader, how about you? Who are you going to invite to dinner if you can invite anyone?
You need to invite someone. He must be a great talker, maybe Shakespeare.
Was Shakespeare a great cook? I missed that one.
Cook, a great talker.
What? I'm sorry.
Great talker.
Great talker. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you said a great cook, and I immediately had a flashback. I'm sorry, I missed that lecture. I didn't show up that day. Sorry, Professor.
Maybe someone like Napoleon or Hitler, someone who can make you enthusiastic, about something.
Okay. I can just imagine. I'm thinking, Nader. Hark! What eggs beyond yonder window break? And cheese is its name. An omelet by any other name would smell so sweet. I can just imagine. Cooking with Shakespeare. That would be fun. Wouldn't that be fun? I should have a cooking show. Cooking with Shakespeare. Tonight, we have King Richard, the hunchback, cooker of spam. Okay. Hey, bring me the spam. Okay. Maria.
Yeah.
Maria. Who would you invite to dinner?
I would like to invite Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock.
Yes, because people say that I resemble to her.
Really?
Yeah, maybe not on this picture, but in my real life, sometimes, yeah, different people say like this.
Okay.
And I like her. I think she's a very talented actress.
Talented. Yeah.
Talented,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She would be interesting to talk to.
Mm.
I would ask her about her choice of making some of her movies, though, Okay. Interesting choice. Oh, okay. Julio, how about yourself?
I would invite Eve.
Eve. Of Adam and Eve. Not like Evie Brickell and the New Bohemians Eve.
No, the original Eve.
The original Eve.
Yeah. First of all, because she was the original virgin, so you cannot get any better than that. And also, she was the hottest woman on earth in her time. So.
In her time?
Yeah.
Yes, she was. And that is definitive, an absolute. She kind of had to be.
Probably she would show up with no clothes on, so.
Well, maybe wearing a fig leaf.
Situation.
Possibly a fig leaf. Strategically.
I would invite her on fall.
Okay. Eve. But, her boa would actually be a boa. Okay. Right. Watch out for that snake. Okay. Juan, who would you invite to dinner?
Well, I would like to invite a great speaker, but I wouldn't invite Abraham Lincoln because he tends to talk too much, like me. So that would be a really long dinner.
That's very funny.
Yeah. Well, if there wasn't any limit to the duration of the of the dinner, I would invite Abraham. And let's see who else.
You know, I really like that you're on first name basis with Abraham. Like, I would invite Abraham.
Abe.
My buddy Abe.
Yeah, it's been a long
Cool.
time since we haven't discussed any politics, and I would like to give him some recommendations about it.
How do you catch a bullet with your skull?
No kidding. Oh, stop it. That's horrible. Oh, okay. Let's continue. Let's see. Ooh. I'm kind of choosing here. Nader. Can you?
Prince never lacks legitimate reasons to break his promise. I hate this. I hate this so much. All politicians like this. They tell you never go for election, then the next day you find them candidate.
Obsessed man.
Yeah. Okay. We've all seen this before, I think. Yeah, Maria.
Yes, I think he's obsessive. Man, Niccolo. He's. Am I possessive?
Sorry? I just didn't hear you.
Possessed.
Obsessed. He's
Yes,
obsessed.
he is possessed.
Possessed.
Oh, maybe I don't.
Obsessed or possessed?
This possessed.
Possessed. Possessed. Possessed.
Yes. Possessed.
Okay. Okay. By like a demon or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, still, Julio kind of made a point. These quotes all very much have truth in them. Yeah. Julio, do Mexican politicians ever break their promises? He says, not holding his breath.
Well, it's not only Mexican, like politicians in general.
I know.
And
anywhere. I know that.
Now, I mean, after reading these quotes, now I understand better politicians. I mean, it kind of makes sense, everything now.
Doesn't it? And to tell you the truth, my roommate in university was a political science major. I am not kidding about this. And he would quote Machiavelli constantly. This is what they learn. This is what they nurture themselves on.
Oh, yeah.
This is like their Bible, reading this guy. It's kind of
scary.
It is scary. Yeah.
Didn't he kill anybody?
Yeah, it's frightening. Okay. Ooh. This is a weird one. Let's go here. Let's go here. Julio, can you read this one?
Hatred is gained as much by good works as by evil. Yeah.
What is he saying here?
Oh, it's difficult to digest that one.
Yeah, it is. This is a tough one. Okay, we're kind of running out of time, so let me throw it out to the class.
It doesn't. I'll take this. It doesn't matter if you do good things to people or you treat them badly. They will hit you in the end, no problem. Whatever you do, they will hit you.
Well, that's reassuring. Yeah. Yeah, Nader. Thanks for stepping forward and just coming out and saying it, because that's pretty much the idea. Okay. Any other interpretations or ideas about this? Go ahead.
I think a lot of people are jealous, so no, doesn't matter what you do, some of them will hate you.
Yeah. Machiavelli seems to be a big fan of jealousy and envy. Cheerleader for envy.
I
Yay.
just think I think this guy just like thought like let's stop fooling around and stop being as easy, and I mean people is gonna love and hate you anyway, and just forget about it and use them, control them, and accomplish your goals using them, and that's what it's all about. Like stop thinking about they're gonna love or hate you or how history is going to remember you. It's all about
Ah.
doing what you need to do to get things done, and that's it.
Yeah. Very practical politics.
Yeah.
But truly, okay, I'm not
This is
saying this.
this is about
Go ahead.
politician, right? Politician promise something when the election. That the promise is sometimes it's very good for poor people, but instead other people are own up industry. It's very bad. So if they do the good job for poor people, or maybe they gain a lot of hatred to otherwise. And then if promise something to rich people, then poor people hate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, ye very true. Politicians have to balance. Many times, politicians cater or uh, they pander to, they cater to, they try to service one section of the population, and when they do that, it makes another section of the population angry or upset or alienates them. Um, very true. Of course, we do have to remember that Machiavelli lived in a time before, or a time when actually democracy had happened way before in Greece and even Rome. But he lived during the Renaissance, when there was still kings and queens and absolute monarchy, divine right. The king was the king, and deal with it. Um, so he didn't have to worry so much about. Well, I guess he did because kings can be assassinated. Okay, but anyway. Oh, here's some more excellent advice. Juan, can you read this one,
Yes.
please?
The fact is that a man who wants to act virtuous, virtuously in every way necessarily comes to grief among so many who are not virtuous.
Okay. Virtuous, in case anybody's wondering, it means truthful, honest. Okay, in a very good manner. Okay, some more wonderful advice from Machiavelli. Yeah, like this guy is Satan. Okay. Ishmael, do you buy this? Do you believe this? If you act like a nice guy and you're honest, does it mean that eventually you're going to come to grief? Okay, come to grief, standard sort of collocation in English. Because there are so many who are not virtuous. Do you believe that, Ishmael?
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. I couldn't understand exactly what do you mean.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at the quote. Okay. The quote to me is basically saying, if you act with honesty, forthrighteousness, forthrighteousness, sorry, if you act with good morals, that only means you're going to come to grief, because so many people do not have good morals. So I kind of if I want to infer or extrapolate, why bother? Why bother being nice? You'll only get hurt. Yeah, and Nader has a point. The end justifies the means. True. Okay. All right. Actually, I just noticed that we are pretty much out of time, so sorry to cut you off, Ishmael, but we are definitely out of time, and I have to go so other teachers can take over. But hey, I'll be back in a couple hours. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, Oakley.
Thank
Goodbye,
you.
Oakley.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
You guys take care.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.